Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back and watching my videos. If you guys are already subscribed and part of the family, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And if you're not, what are you waiting for? You know you want to join. Let's just jump right into today's video. I'm going to be doing another luxury handbag review, and today's video is going to be on no other than the Chanel Mini Gabrielle bag. So as promised, I know some of you guys did request for me that I do a review on this bag since I got this last year, and I recently just did my Gucci Soho Disco review. Today's review is all going to be about this bag, the pros and cons of it, why I like it, why I don't like it, and whether or not you should buy it. Now, I'm going to preface that this bag, I did buy it in Paris, so it's way cheaper than what you would get if you were to purchase it in North America, but there's a lot of different pros and cons besides just the price, and I'm going to touch on some of those. So you guys really seem to like my luxury handbag review that I did last time on the Gucci Soho Disco, which is why I'm going to be doing this one again this time. I have a couple other bags that I think I'm going to slowly start to work my way through them as well too, such as this Listt box bag. Before they kind of changed the logo on it, I managed to snag that last year in September when I went to Paris, before the Phoebe Philo era Celine ended. Phoebe, do miss all of her designs. But yes, I'm going to continue to do a lot of these luxury handbag reviews, so you guys will have a resource to kind of refer back to if any of these bags are ones that you're looking into or you're interested in purchasing, and that way you kind of know from first-hand experience, at least from me, the goods and the bads of bags and whether or not they're going to be worthwhile for your money. Up on today's docket is the Chanel Mini Gabrielle. I'm going to tell you guys a little short story as to how I acquired this, and then we're going to go right into the pros and cons and what I liked about this bag and what I don't like. This bag I actually picked up last year in May, my very first trip to Paris. I just knew that when I was going to go to Paris my first time, I definitely had to get a bag. I don't always get a bag every time I go to Europe, but recently when I started going to Europe within the past 2 years alone, I've discovered that you save so much money buying bags here versus buying them in here, because you save a lot on the import taxes, which is amazing. I think this bag alone saved me almost $1,000 purchasing it in Paris versus purchasing it here in North America. I'm not going to sugarcoat it because this bag is definitely not cheap. I can't even remember how much I paid for it, but I think after conversion and tax returns, in Canada this bag came out for me about like $4,000, whereas if I was to buy this bag here in Canada, it would start off as $4,500, and that's not even with tax included yet. I'm just going to calculate how much that actually would be with tax. In Ontario, our tax is not cheap. It's around 13%. So with tax included, that comes out to $5,085, guys. Look at this. I spent $4,000 and I bought this in Paris. That is insane. So word of wise, if you can, buy your bags in Europe, because I've noticed that ever since I started buying my bags there, I've saved a lot of money. I guess some people would even go as far as saying that you don't have to spend the money to save the money, because if you just didn't have the bags, you have all the money. But I'm a bag addict, so if you're a bag addict like me, my word of advice would be go to Europe, buy your bag there. Don't buy it in North America if you don't have to. So the cost of the bag was number one reason as to why I did buy it when I was in Paris. Also, for my first time in Paris, I definitely wanted to stop into the flagship location for Chanel as well too. This is not my first Chanel bag, so that wasn't a special factor for me. I do have a beige little Chanel mini patent that I bought years ago in Vegas, but this was my second Chanel bag ever, not including my little wallet card case. And I knew it was going to be a very special one for me. I've seen this bag around for quite a bit before I picked it up, and I knew I wanted to get my hands on one because it's so different. Not a lot of people have it. Some people definitely do. It's definitely not one of the more popular bags that everybody has. It's more like the collector unique edition ones. But the silhouette itself is pretty popular and one of the classics, I believe. I got this size. I think there's an even smaller size if I'm correct, but I wanted a size that would be well suited for everything that I wanted to fit into it. And granted, that was one of the aspects as to why I bought it, because it did fit everything that I was carrying around with me that day when I shoved it inside this bag. So I initially went into the boutique looking for the bag that was like all black everywhere. So the blue spot up here would be actually black, and there was going to be black on the bottom as well too. Unfortunately, they didn't have the black left in stock. They actually had just happened to sold the last one before I walked in about an hour ahead of time, so I was kind of bummed. But then they took out this colorway and a couple of other colorways, and I immediately fell in love with this one. It's beautiful. I don't own anything in this sort of like color set between navy blue and black. And for anybody that says that you can't wear blue and black together, you are wrong, because if Chanel can do it, that means there's something good with it. Plus, I mean, who cares about these fashion rules anyways? Just wear whatever you like, and I happen to love this colorway. When I was hemming and hawing between picking up this bag and the black one, I was unsure as to whether or not I would regret it, because I've initially gone in looking for a black. And in my head, I was thinking that if I'm going to be spending this much on a bag, I want it to definitely be a classic enough color that I can wear it forever in the long run. My friends ended up actually telling me, and now that I think back, they're so right about it, that navy blue is a very classic color, and I don't think I've seen anybody yet with this exact colorway of the bag anywhere that I've been. If you have, amazing. I haven't yet, so it kind of feels a little bit more special knowing that I don't really know anybody else with this bag out there. I've seen girls with the black on black, I've seen girls with the white on black, I've seen girls with the white on white, which is stunning, but I would be really afraid to put the bag down because it's gonna get damaged. And I've also seen girls with like the silver on black, and I think there's also like a yellow on yellow. I don't know, that's not really my color, but I haven't seen anybody with this color yet, and I don't regret purchasing this color at all. I think it definitely is going to be a classic color that's going to wear well into my closet for the rest of my life. So this was a good purchase for me because of that color. So I walked to the store, loved the bag, wore it quite a bit in Paris, and then came back here in the summer and wore it quite a bit. I have yet to really wear it that much in the wintertime just because it's been snowing so much and I don't want to damage the leather. But now that I see spring is coming out and there's like a sun shining outside in the window next to me here, I'm super excited to be bringing this bag back out again. Yes, I do wear my bags seasonally. I have some bags that I wear in the spring, summer, and some other bags that I wear in the fall, winter. This is definitely going to be one of my more spring, summer bags. So I'm super happy that I'm going to be able to get this bag out again quite soon and to wear it every day. Let's go right into the pros and cons and the different aspects as to like why I like and didn't like the bag. I like number one, colorway. Like I was saying, the colorway is absolutely stunning. I think this is like a really beautiful kind of like dark blue. It's a little bit dusty as well too. And I think it pairs really nicely with the black to give it a very classic kind of casual everyday look. If you're going for the black on black, it's still a really beautiful color. Actually, I lied. They brought out a black on black for me, but it was a patent black and I really didn't want something shiny. I felt that that was a little bit too much. I wanted something more casual. And I love that the material on this one is like super worn in on the blue, so it looks kind of like a vintage bag when it's not. So yeah, love the colorway of this one. And I think there's a lot of other beautiful ones as well too. Definitely get the black on black one if you do want a very casual, classy look, because I think that's definitely gonna show the test of time for that bag. I was looking for a bag that had a more structural base. I have a lot of bags that kind of fall off and kind of like sink and sag at the bottom. When you're putting a lot of heavy things in, such as like your wallet, keys, phone, I don't know, my mini vlogging camera, what else other junk I have lying around my bag, I really want the bag to be able to keep shape and I don't want to sag at the bottom and lose structure all around, which is a reason why I truly love this bag, since it has like, it's like a hard case on the bottom. There's no feet on it though, so I wouldn't advise putting it on the floor. But besides that, I think it does a really good job of holding the base of the bag up, and because of that, I can fit so much stuff into it without it really sagging. Jumping into the con of this bag, I love that the top part about this bag is really nice and smooth, but I don't love that it doesn't hold its shape well. So if you can see the back of this, there's already a crease like coming into this, and I've owned this bag for less than like a year now, and it kind of just like sags over. If you're not filling your bag with enough stuff, it definitely sags, and as you're wearing it against your back, it's gonna like sag down on the side like this, which is what I really, really don't like about it. So I've taken to actually storing the bag flat on its back right here so that it doesn't have any abilities for it to sag and it doesn't further damage the leather. You can also stuff the bag as well too, but it's just annoying if you're stuffing it and unstuffing it every single day to use, or like back and forth when I'm wearing it. So I don't like stuff the bag. I've considered purchasing some of those like bag stuffing pillows that you just slide in and out, or in general just stuffing the dust bag that came with this bag with a lot of tissue and just putting it in, as opposed to like pulling out different wads of tissue every single time. So that's the one con I don't like about the bag, mainly is just because it loses its shape on the top part of the leather pretty quickly, and then after a while it gets like super saggy. But besides that, I love that the bottom is super structured. I think we're now on to aspect number 3 of the bag, which is the different colored chains, and I think this is super, super unique about the bag. The hardware on the CC in the front here is kind of like a brushed silver, kind of dirty looking, but I like it. I think it looks unique and vintage. The chains on the back, as you can see, are 2 different colors. So you have a gold chain here, and then there's a silver chain here. And I think that's so cute and pretty, and a nice little added touch of color to the bag that you wouldn't expect. And it actually gives the bag a sort of like up accessorized feel, like accessorized up. I don't know if that's a phrase, it just came into my head. I'm gonna use it, so yeah. I truly love the chains, and I think that they're really, really cute accessory to the bag. I don't ever have to really worry about over accessorizing when I wear this bag, since it does its job so well already on its own. But the one thing that I don't like about it is the fact that this bag closes on like a drawstring contraption, which is dependent on back straps of the bag, and I find it really difficult to take the bag on and off easily to open and access what you need inside of it without getting your hands all tangled inside. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. When I first put this on my back, it sits at the bottom right here, and you guys can like kind of see what I mean by like when the back loses its shape, it doesn't sit flat against your back nicely. If I want to take it off to take anything out of it, I have to take it off, and swing it to the front, which is easy enough, but because it's already pulling on my shoulder, it's closing the bag, and I really have to like pull the chain open like really wide to dig in. And as I'm putting my hands inside to get stuff, the bag tends to close on its own because the chain closes itself since it's pulling on my shoulder, which is really annoying if I'm trying to get things like big and small, like shoving them, taking them out of my bag. I just find it super difficult to access, and it's not an easily accessible bag, which is one main reason why I like don't love the bag, even though I do love the bag. If you are a stickler on closures of the bag, then you're probably not going to enjoy the fact that it does that. And also because it's the bag itself, it's not a light bag, but it's not a heavy bag as well too. But once you start putting stuff into it, it gets quite heavy, and then pulling on your shoulders, it tends to pull the bag upwards as well too. So then because of that action, you start to get this like wrinkle in the front where like it folds forward and you don't see the CC anymore. I think the whole point of adding that little extra touch to the front of the bag is to really be able to show it off. So once again, you'd probably have to stuff your bag to be able to guide the leather to pop back out like this. This is how it's usually displayed in the store, but after you wear it quite a bit, it starts to sink in a little bit and it really loses its shape. So because of the chain straps, which I think is a really nifty and neat idea, at the same time, I don't like it because I think it helps to really like ruin and wreck the overall structural integrity of the bag itself. Aspect number 4 is kind of similar to aspect number 3, but we're really going to talk about the enclosure of the bag up top here. So I love that it opens up super wide and essentially turns it into like this giant hole. I'll show you the inside of the bag while we're at it. It's just like red on the inside. There's not much else besides this little pocket right here where I put the authenticity card like I do with all my bags. And I like that it opens up into a giant hole because it makes it super easy for you to reach in and to grab everything. But at the same time, when it closes, as you're taking stuff in and out, if you're holding the straps, see how quickly it closes on you? Kind of annoying. But I would also like to, if there was a flap to cover completely over top, because it makes it really easy for anybody to kind of like go in and pickpocket you if they really need to. Granted, you would feel it because you would feel the chain shifting on your backs, but because there's no complete closure onto there, it's not the best to deterring pickpocketers from going in and stealing things from your bag. So if you are going to be traveling with this bag to places where they're known to have a lot of pickpocketers, I would highly recommend putting all of your valuables at the bottom and just putting on top the things that you don't really mind losing in the case that somebody does come and take it, such as like napkins, bus tickets, I don't know, tissue, lip products. Put your wallet and all of your money at the base of the bag and layer things on top of it. Aspect number 5 from now on, I think I'm counting it right. I know in my last video I counted really wrong. It looked really bad, guys. I promise I can count, don't worry. I lose my mind and I lose my track of thought when I'm talking all the time and thinking about the different aspects. I don't write my stuff down when I talk about these sort of things. I probably should, going into it before making these videos. I should probably make a list. But yes, I think we're on aspect number 5 of the bag is the fact that I loved before, like I said, the bottom of the bag, it has a nice strong structure, so it really helps to keep it in place. But I don't like that there are no feet on the bottom of this bag. I believe the bottom leather of this bag is actually lambskin because it's really smooth and soft, and it's stretched quite smoothly across the paneling of whatever they use to make the shape. I have, luckily, like, knock on wood, not seriously scratched anything quite yet, and I'm really surprised by that because I always put this bag down on surfaces, and I'm genuinely afraid that the bottom's gonna get scratched up every single time because there are no feet on here. I don't know why they decided to make the bag without feet. I think they could have done a good job with just adding like 1 foot to each corner. That way the bag is protected when I put it down on something, and it's not that evident when you hold it up because usually it's the bottom of the bag, so you wouldn't see it anyways. So Chanel, if you're watching this, please do make this bag same version but with some feet on the bottom so it's easier for me to take care of this bag. Moving on to aspect number 6 now, it's kind of going back to the overall integrity of the bag, but we're talking about more the leather than the structure itself. I was originally offered this bag in the black and black in patent black for the top, and I didn't like that because it was too shiny and I felt that that would get really like scratched up easily when I'm like going places. I wanted this bag to be a very nice casual travel bag. When I'm traveling, I don't want to think too much as to how I'm taking care of my leather. So I said no to that one, and they brought me out some other bags that had, I believe it was a very soft lambskin, which is also a huge no to me. I know I'm not going to be able to take care of that leather, so I nixed that one as well too. And they brought out this one. I think this is a distressed calf leather. I may be wrong. It looks very vintage and it's kind of worn in. It helps that because of the bag is losing its structure, that the wrinkles kind of really blend in with the rest of the bag. It looks very aged and I like that, but I don't like that the bag structure itself kind of like loses its structure overall with time. But I do want to chat about, because of this kind of like vintage effect, if you are going to be scratching up your bag, God forbid, please do not scratch up a Chanel. If you do, it's gonna blend in really, really easy to the bag. It also makes it easy for me to like wipe off any dirt marks I may get on here because the bag already looks like it's been lived in, so I don't worry too much that I'm scratching or like ruining a perfect canvas, which is why I truly love this leather, and I think it's great for this bag since it is a casual bag. You won't have to stress too much about damaging it in like any small ways that you may. So I think that's genuinely it for my bag. I do really, really love this bag. I think it's super cute. There are some parts of it that I don't really like, such as the fact that there's no feet on the bottom. The main function for me that I really dislike is the fact that the drawstring up here closes and makes it really difficult to take things in and out of the bag without completely removing it off of your shoulder and your body. And that just ends up making the overall process of using the bag not as efficient as I would like it to be for how much I paid. But besides that factor, I love the silhouette. I think it's so cute. It's super spacious. You can fit a lot of stuff into here. And I love the texture of the leather as well too, because it allows me to really truly live and grow with this bag without ever fearing that it's gonna get dirty. Overall, I don't really regret the purchase. There are definitely some aspects of the design that I would take into consideration if you're thinking of getting the bag but you're not too sure. If you're not completely sold on it and you don't love the bag as much as I do, I would refrain from purchasing it and hold back and maybe putting your money towards a different Chanel purchase or a better designed bag. I do love Chanel, and it hurts me to say this. This bag isn't designed the best, but I still love it so much. It hurts me inside, guys. I can't wait for summer to come out, like I said before, so I can wear this bag again. Would I recommend this bag to somebody? Probably not, just because it's not that efficient to use. If you truly do love it though and you're obsessed with it and you can get over the fact that it's not an easy bag to use and that you're not going to get any protection on the base of it, then yeah, I'd say go for it. If you have the disposable income, go ahead and get the bag. It is a stunning bag. You're going to love it as much as I do, and you're going to get quite a lot of wear out of it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and sticking around for the entire video. I hoped all this info really helped you to decide whether or not you want to get this bag, or if you're still doing research into this bag to see whether or not it'd be a good fit for you. I hope I covered enough topics to really answer your questions. If you have specific questions, do let me know in the comments down below. I'd be happy to answer them. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up so that I know that you guys want to see more videos like this in the future. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!